Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and I'm super excited because I'm finally reviewing Transformers Generations War for Cybertron Kingdom Waspinator. I've had this guy for a little while. I got him late. Obviously, Kingdom Line happened last year. I got him late, and then I've been burning through my backlog as quickly as possible to review this one, because this was the figure that I was originally most excited to get in the Kingdom line. This was, I think, ahead of Kingdom Megatron, which ended up being my figure of the year last year. But this one, it was just because I had a Masterpiece Megatron, and we haven't gotten a Masterpiece Waspinator, so I was really, really excited to get a new one. And here he is. He turns into a compact little wasp mode. I dig it a lot. They've taken a different interpretation here. This is not the wasp that we saw in the Beast Wars cartoon. It's kind of, I'd say, a more realistic silhouette. Things like the mandible shape, the head shape, the posture, I feel like, are a little more on the, we'd call them the realistic side, even though he still is kind of a crazy wasp monster. I do have a couple minor complaints. I do, again, just like Black Arachnia, I wish we had at least single joints on these wasp legs. I get where we can't get multi-jointed legs, but maybe a single joint instead of just this mushroom peg here. I will also note that he does tend to come apart easily in this mode. There is a peg on each of the arms that goes into the centerpiece, which I'll show during transformation, as well as this peg here and two in the two slots in the legs that go around a kind of a little bar you create. And it all fits together, you know, like this, but it's not the most solid thing. When I'm playing around with him, it does come loose. But as a wasp, I mean, this is a pretty killer looking wasp. I love the color scheme, the purples. Maybe I wish that this abdomen or thorax was a black piece painted yellow instead of a yellow piece painted black, so the yellow could be a little brighter. We've got these lovely purple wings, which look wonderful. I really, really like that. The like vein detailing on that is awesome. The texture on the eyes, like that is a textured pattern. That's really nice. In terms of articulation, really nice ball joint on the wing here. Mushroom peg connects these two legs together, and one connects this forward one together. We do get neck articulation, which I was surprised by. So if you got him kind of flying, you can tuck the legs back here. And yeah, this little leg piece just came undone. That's what I was talking about. So you can get kind of him looking forward like this, flying around. The mandibles have articulation. I really, really appreciate the amount they did on just this beast mode, which most people, I think, like look at it and don't need a ton of like insect mode articulation. But I really, really appreciate what they did for Waspinator. If he's like flying in trying to grab a smaller insect or something, I dig that a lot. Cops are here because I'm talking about wasp cannibalism. But yeah, overall, just a great little looking wasp. I will compare him, so let's first compare him to other Waspinators. We do have our Thrilling 30 Waspinator right here. You can tell Kingdom is a little smaller, a little more compact. I will say, I think overall, in terms of wasp mode, I prefer Thrilling 30 because it has this gimmick. And that makes me really, really happy. But things that I like on the Kingdom mode that Thrilling 30 doesn't have, I really like the texture on this eye compared to the texture on this eye. The little dots just feel finer and nicer. The wings, I like that we get the wings a little more spread out here instead of single wings. I mean, there's two wings here, but they're like folded on top of each other here. The Thrilling 30 one, I do like that it has his stinger. The stinger is much less prominent in this version. But yeah, here's how they look next to each other. And then we've got the original Beast Wars Waspinator mold, which I don't have Waspinator, but I do have Buzzsaw here. And here we can see how they look together. So obviously Buzzsaw started out the biggest, and then the figures got a little smaller over the years, which I actually appreciate. I like that they got smaller because the scale that he comes into with the rest of the Kingdom line looks better. But yeah, here's how they all look together. And you can see kind of the different interpretations they had of the wasp heads. I think I prefer this one. This is the most cartoon accurate wasp head to me, even though this feels like a more realistic wasp head. But yeah, there's how they all look together, and we can get all my wasps together because I do have 2 of the Thrilling 30 mold. 4 now. I got 2 of them, 4 now. All right, let's get these out of the way. And our last comparison has to be the Kingdom line. So let me grab my Kingdom Predacons. We've got, I know they're not all bugs. In fact, Waspinator is the only bug here, but we've got our creepy crawly squad. And I will say, out of the 3, I think Black Arachne is still my favorite. But Waspinator is really solid, and Scorponok, I would be super excited if a third-party company said, hey, we're going to make a knockoff Scorponok, and it's just going to be like 20% taller. That's all I need. That's all I need. But yeah, here's how they look together. There's our Predacon squad right now. And yeah, I'm super excited. Tarantulas looks like it's going to be my favorite legacy figure of the line. I really am like 99% sure we're going to get an Inferno in like collector, like Generation Selects or somewhere. We got to get an Inferno. I'm super excited to have the squad here all set up. But yeah, Waspinator looks great amongst the crew. He definitely stands out here in a wonderful way. All right, we'll get the bots out of the way and let's get to transformation. All right, to start transforming Waspinator, we're going to come in and we're going to separate out these feet. There, like I said, there's a bar. We're going to pull the feet down, and you can see that there is a bar at the what is that, like back of the calf. If we pull them up, these 2 slot sections here connect to this bar in the arms that get created when you put the arms together. That's the thing that kind of, to me, it just is a little loose. So we can pull these down and away for now. We're going to separate out his thorax has, I hope I'm using the correct word, has a hinge in it that you can pull away, and then this piece, the green piece, pegs into his butt. It's always a little tight. There we go. Super tight connection. It is this square peg goes into that rectangular slot very tightly. We can rotate it around and we can bring out our feet, our robot feet, like so on each side, bringing out and away our wasp limbs, pulling those back and out of the way. Oh. And these mushroom pegs, if you notice, they're not perfectly circular, so they do want to kind of work their way out if you're not careful. Push that back in. And I am worried about stressing the plastic here. There we go. You can kind of see here there's a little bit of plastic stress there. I'm not too worried about that particular thing, but over time I know if you're not careful that'll wear out. We can come in on the back, we can press on this yellow circle here to pop out his butt gun, get that out of the way, come in on his chest torso area. So these 2 arms, like I mentioned, they already loosened themselves, but they are 2 circular pegs here, you can see, that go into this slot here. And if you notice, this bar that holds up the rest of his chest blocks that slot a little bit, so that is not a very secure connection at all. You play around with it a little bit, it'll come loose in wasp mode, which isn't a big deal, but it is, you know, annoying. We can turn his wrists. His wrists have to be turned a certain way to get everything tight in his wasp body, I've noticed. Then we can come in, and here is one thing I do want to mention. So these wasp eyes are transparent. It's hard to make it out that they are, but they are. So because of that, it's transparent plastic, and it is on this bar back here that when you pull it out, I am worried about breakage here because it's all transparent plastic that you're stressing every time you pull it out. The other thing I don't like is that there isn't a clicking point. I play around with this pretty often, but I don't get a solid click when I pull them out. But now he's basically transformed. We're going to collapse down his lower torso. It pegs in nicely there, and then we can come in on his upper torso, pull things out, push him back into his own backpack. It forms a nice little connection, and then bring his torso down. And we've got a robot mode that is pretty nice looking. Get things all turned the right way. Get our dangly little wasp legs out of the way. Give him his gun. And yeah, this, to me, is a lovely looking Waspinator if we turn his wrist the right way. There we go. And yeah, we've got a pretty great looking little Waspinator here. I really like the style. I do have some complaints about robot mode that we'll get into in just a moment. But first we're going to do articulation. So we've got a lovely head sculpt. It wiggles and waggles and rotates all around, just what you need. 360 on the shoulder. We do have a bicep swivel right here. We've got bend at the elbows, no problem. They can bend backwards. We've got wrist rotation as we showed previously. His torso likes to come undone, but we do have swivel at the torso. It's just that his teeth, his mandibles are going to push his lower torso a bit out of the way when you do that. We do have, get that locked in, we do have nice Van Dammable hips. The only really thing that gets in the way are his wasp legs. You just push those out of the way and he can go the full splits, no problem. He can bend 90 degrees at the knee, and we do have them Siege, Earthrise, Kingdom ball joints that are in generations now for every figure, which I really appreciate. So it does help in his mobility a lot. Obviously, his wings can pose however you want. But yeah, he looks good. Overall, I'm really happy with this guy for... I got him a bit on sale. I think he was $20, and now deluxes are... Do they retail for $25 now or something? $25 might be a bit much, but $20, I'm pretty happy with this. I love the yellow and black striping on his antenna. I love the light piping in his eyes, the yellow picked out teeth, the paint all over. In terms of paint, my minor complaints are just like the butt here. I wish that this was yellow painted black so that it would be brighter like his shins. I like the look of his painted yellow a lot more than the molded plastic yellow. Other than that, like I said, the transparent plastic in these headpieces means that it's transparent and it's going to slide here. So over time, this will stress. That will be an area to watch out for. Aside from that, I do wish that his legs compacted a little bit more. Again, if they had a joint that they could fold up just a little bit more to get them a little more out of the way would be appreciated. I think the articulation is fine. The gun, I do wish had a stinger, and we'll do a comparison on the guns real quick. But other than that, yeah, it's a pretty solid little Waspinator, and overall I am very happy with the little guy. So let us do some comparisons. And here are my two Waspinators next to each other. And you can see kind of the different design decisions they made between Thrilling 30 and Kingdom. Thrilling 30 is taller. Kingdom has that purple, which I really, really like. Thrilling 30 feels like it's got the more accurate chest because the Beast mode was more cartoon accurate. But Kingdom has a more accurate shin and arm, like circle pieces. Although I personally prefer these like stylings on these shins. Overall, I think they both have their own merits, but this to me is just a more solid toy. I do like that Kingdom Waspinator has his Predacon logo somewhere prominent. Thrilling 30, I think because they were going with the comic books, the comic book designs, and he wasn't a Predacon there, they kind of hid his Predacon logo on his back. And I do like that his gun is a lot more menacing on Thrilling 30 than on Kingdom Waspinator. And we can see all the Waspinators next to each other, all my bug modes. Here's the original Beast Wars mold again as Buzzsaw. And I gotta say, this is like a very classic, I feel like, head sculpt that I really like on Buzzsaw. And I know Waspinator originally had it on the toy, and this is like his mutant face. But yeah, here is kind of what I'm talking about, where this was a smaller beast mode than this guy, but it turned into a bigger robot, and I appreciate that a lot. Them next to each other, if you already have this Waspinator, I feel like he can fit right in with your Kingdom line without having to spring for this guy. But if you don't have, any Waspinator and you want one, this is, again, half price compared to this guy. And speaking of Kingdom, let's go ahead and get him set up next to all the crew of the Predacons. And here are our Season 1 Predacons, almost all of them. Obviously, we're still missing Inferno and Tarantulas. But what we have so far looks really good together. Tarantulas is the figure I'm looking forward to most in the Legacy line so far, and then as soon as we get that, I'll be looking forward to Inferno. Hopefully the Cybertron Metroplex teaser, I think, on the box art is hopefully like strong sign that we'll get an Inferno in the line. But yeah, Waspinator looks great here. Again, feels a little short. Maybe it's just that Arachnid feels a little big because she's sharing a mold with Tarantulas. But Waspinator, Scorponok, oh geez, and Pterosaur all feel a little bit on the short side compared to our Femme Fatale. I'll have to go back and look. I felt like overall the Kingdom line was very, very robot scale accurate. Just the Predacons seem just a little on the small side, which is unfortunate. Now, like I said before, Thrilling 30 Waspinator I think lines up great. I think this is a much more correct height. And overall, I think if you, between the two, I have to recommend the Thrilling 30 one. But it, again, because it is the better toy, I think it has retained its aftermarket value. It's $50 now on the aftermarket, so I can't really recommend to anyone to go out and spend that much on what is still a great toy. But I'd suggest if you're looking to just buy a Waspinator, spend the $20, $25 to get this version. That being said, I can only have one in my collection, and being that I already have a Buzzsaw in this mold and a Paralyzer in this mold, I'm going to keep the Kingdom Waspinator, as I feel that it is, it's nice to have each of these characters have their own unique mold. I think that's a cool little piece of my collection. So I am turning this video into a giveaway for Thrilling 30 Waspinator. So if you would like to win this Waspinator, the Thrilling 30 Waspinator, here's all you have to do. Just like all my other giveaways, leave a comment in the bottom of this video answering the question of the day and saying you want to enter the giveaway. That's all you have to do. 1 week from the day this video comes out, my next review video will come out, and in that video I will show all the people who entered, pick a random winner, and then you just reach out to me, whatever social media you would like to, and I'll ship this Waspinator over to you. So, my question today, thinking about just the way that the Thrilling 30 Waspinator still, to me, feels stronger than the Kingdom Waspinator, my question is, what toy, what character, Transformers character, or maybe not Transformers character, maybe we can go out of Transformers, but in my mind, Transformers character, what Transformers character has gotten more than one toy and you felt like the older version did the better job? So, for example, Thrilling 30 Waspinator, I feel like did a better job than Kingdom. Another one I think about is Classics Hound. I feel like that's a really strong toy, and it beat out Siege Hound for me. Some people, I bet you, I'm probably going to get a lot of people talking about robots in disguise stuff, maybe. Maybe a little bit of Cybertron or Armada. I'm super curious, what older toy do you think was better than the new toy of the same character? That's it for today's video. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye!